How is everybody doing today? Today we're going to cover the 12 horror movies that I watched, new releases, in the month of January. There's only one movie that is not on this list that I think might have been decent that came out, and that's called Grizzly Night. It just didn't seem like my kind of movie, and I also just didn't have time to get around to it. But that one looked like it's possibly okay, but if other than that movie, if it came out in January and it's not on this list, it's because I just was like, no, I'm not watching that. I'm getting to a new point where I've decided I don't want to watch trash movies if I don't have to anymore. If there's an independent film that has, something redeeming about it, some kind of better quality to it, then I'll check it out. Otherwise, I don't want to mess with just trash movies anymore. I don't find them fun. I don't find them interesting. I know a lot of people do, but that is just not me. So starting us off with number 12 is Return to Silent Hill. Why, oh fucking why, did you make this movie? I could have gone my entire life without another Silent Hill movie instead of this piece of shit. Almost every other movie that is on my list, actually every other movie that's on my list, I found some redeeming quality about it. Something that I could be like, okay, I did enjoy this piece of the movie, but this movie made me so infuriated. There is zero chemistry between the two main characters. The story itself is just dumb. I hate the fact that they're doing all of these flashback scenes in the middle of it. Just give me the straight Silent Hill treatment. If you want to do flashback shit, do it at the beginning of the movie and then move on into the real movie and just let me experience all of that. I don't know. I did not enjoy this movie. The only thing about this movie is the actual practical shots and like the long shots and stuff like that of Silent Hill were really nice. But as soon as it gets creepy and everything turns CGI, it looks like absolute dog shit. Coming in at number 11 is The Grieving. This is a movie about a woman whose father has passed away in Italy. She's in the United States. She has to fly to Italy and take care of her father's estate. Turns out that that her father's spirit seems to still be around, but it's a little bit fucked up and violent and on the evil side. And she's trying to figure out what's going on. What is her father trying to tell her? And a pretty decently interesting story. There's some parts that I do like about this movie. I like that they kind of go into like the ghost realm, kind of like in your Insidious films. The actual like demon creature at the end that you see, I don't much care for. I think it looks kind of creepy, but also a little bit dumb at the same time. But overall, it's a half decent, haunting movie with some decent scares to it. Too much trying to jump scare you. I get so sick and tired of jump scares. But there are some just downright creepy moments, and I do enjoy just downright creepy moments. Coming in at number 10 is Sleepwalker. This movie is about a woman. Her husband is in a coma after a car wreck that killed one of their two children, and she's living with their other child. It seems as if the spirit of the man that's in a coma is like coming after her and her child and trying to get the other child to like come with him so he can have him die too, or something to that effect. And the concept of this story is interesting. There are parts that are actually very creepy about this movie. What I don't like about this film that much is how convoluted and weird the story gets, to the point where I was very confused at places, and then when you get to the end, I'm still kind of confused, not as much, but just there are a couple of things that I'm like, okay, I don't know. I don't want to spoil anything, but like if it is what I think it is, like it's a cop-out bullshit kind of story. Yeah. Coming in at number 9 is Death Name. This is about a Korean American woman that her family fled from Korea because of a sinister spirit that put a curse basically on the women of her family. And so she wasn't taught a lot of like her Korean heritage and stuff like that. So she's starting to learn a little bit of it, and the spirit comes back seeking to continue the curse. I don't think it played its cards right. I think it could have been a lot better, because I guessed every moment of the film, I guessed what was going to happen. There was no surprises for me. It was very just straightforward story. Some of the parts that are supposed to be creepy and scary just weren't, but the actual like acting and the characters were interesting enough and very well acted. So I had no problems with that part. I just think that the story was a little too straightforward for my tastes, and just the scares were not done very well. Coming in at number 8 is The Confession. This is about a woman whose father died, so we have that going on again. And he was a priest, and there seems to have been something diabolical possibly that happened around his death, and he left like a message for his daughter about something that sinister that may be going on, and how he possibly killed somebody, and they're trying to figure, whenever back in the day, and they're trying to figure everything out. I really, really enjoy the story. This is kind of where in the list where things are getting to be pretty decent. This is a decent film. It's not great, but it's a decent film. I think the writing itself, like the dialogue in this film, is bad. It's just really bad. But the acting is really good by the main character. Her and a couple of the other people, the acting is really good, but then there's other actors that aren't too great in this, and it's just very inconsistent in that, but the writing is god awful. The actual story itself and the progression beats and everything is fine. It's just some of the dialogue is just fucking dumb. I really, really enjoy the ending of this movie. I just think that there's a lot that could be improved upon, but there was a good foundation for this film. Coming in at number 7 is Night Patrol. This is about cops and gang members, and then there's cops that are vampires. Vampire cops killing gang members. That's literally what this story is. It's outrageous, over the top, ridiculous. A lot of really just terrible human beings all around. Like the main guy that's just trying to leave. He's probably one of the most redeemable characters in the movie. Everybody else is just kind of a piece of shit. They're funny. It's got some really funny moments. Some of the dialogue's just really stupid, but it's like good, like stupid enough to be funny. I don't know. There's a lot to like about this movie in a bad way. And I don't typically like bad movies. I think this is one that's like skirting that line very, like, pretty well, not perfectly, but pretty well. It's skirting that line right there. I don't think there's a possibility you're just going to watch this and be like, that's one of the dumbest pieces of shit movies I've ever seen in my life. But you also might get some enjoyment out of this film just because of how like off the wall ridiculous it is. Coming in at number 6 is Untitled Home Invasion Romance. Now, some people might not necessarily see this as a horror film. I think of it as a horror or a comedy suspense with horror elements. But this is basically about a husband and wife that are kind of falling not completely out of love with out of love with each other, but they've been through a small separation. They're just seeing if they still do want to continue the marriage. But they've been apart for a little bit. Now they're going on a little vacation just to kind of see how they feel about each other now. But the husband decides he's going to hire somebody to pretend to break in to the place that they're staying at, and he's going to be the hero and save the day, come to her help. And unfortunately, he was not able to get there on time, and the guy breaks in, and his wife ends up killing the guy. And then it just devolves into just ridiculousness after that. But it's very funny. It's a great time. Very condensed story. Good pacing. There's really not a whole lot wrong with it. So starting with this film on this list, this is where I would start giving out recommendations like to people to be like, hey, I think this is a pretty good movie that you might enjoy. This is kind of like that 6 out of 10 starting point right here. Pretty decent film. Coming in at number 5 is Primate. This is a creature feature, of course, film about a chimpanzee that gets rabies, that is a family, part of the family, basically, and the rabies makes it go crazy and start killing its family. I don't enjoy when members of the family, especially animals that are members of the family, get harmed, become the villain because of rabies or some other thing. It breaks my heart. I don't like it. It doesn't scare me or make me give me any kind of entertainment that I enjoy. It just hurts my feelings watching the movie, and I just do not enjoy it. Now, that being said, this is a very well made movie, very well acted movie. I love the kill scenes in this movie. I thought the kill scenes were done very well, but the whole time I'm just thinking, oh man, I wish that this chimpanzee didn't become the villain and start killing the people that it loves. It's fine when humans do it. Don't make the animals do it, man. You just hurt my feelings. Coming in at number 4 is We Bury the Dead. This is a movie that takes place in, I believe, either Australia or New Zealand. I believe it's New Zealand. What has happened is the United States accidentally sets off a warhead that goes off in this area, destroys basically an entire island, wipes out the entire population. But what it did is it wasn't really a bomb so much as it was a device that instant killed everybody. But then some of them started coming back to life like zombies, but not all of them, just some of them. And they're not sure why. They're trying to figure all that out. But they're sending in teams to help remove all of the dead from the area. And also, if they find any of them that have come back, they've got to alert the military so that the military can step in and put them down for good. What I really, really enjoy about this movie, this is a very enjoyable film to me. I love zombie films, and this one is extremely unique. Because some of the zombies are aggressive, some of them aren't. There's a purpose to the zombies themselves in a way. The first time you see one of them is extremely creepy, and it never even moves. It just stares them down, and it's so creepy. I actually really, really, really like this movie. And the other thing that I liked is there's never like, a herd of them. It's always just one at a time, like one zombie at a time. And they all are extremely unique personalities. None of them they're not doing the exact same thing, which I think is super interesting. I kind of hope we get another film using these types of zombies. I think that exploring this could be very, very cool. Coming in at number 3 is Send Help. This is about a woman that works for a company and is basically the go-to person for the company, but very few people there take her seriously. She's just basically used for her intelligence, doesn't get the promotion that she's promised. But anyway, they're going on a plane, and the plane ends up crashing, and she's actually very well versed in survival tactics and staying alive in the wilderness. Her and one other guy are the only two to live from the plane. She's basically taking control. She's the one in control now. And yeah, it's a very interesting story about power, how power can flip and how power corrupts. It's done very well. I love Sam Raimi's movies. I think it is a very well-made movie, and I did enjoy the end of this film and how everything plays out. Coming in at number 2 is 28 Years Later, Bone Temple. Of the 28 Later franchise, this is probably this would be my second favorite, I think, out of the 28 Later franchise so far. I really enjoyed this new group and how just brutal they are. I kind of wish we got a little bit more of it in the end. I wasn't a huge fan of a lot of the scenes with the Doctor and Samson, even though I understand why, it was pushed to the forefront of the film so much, because it's a very important piece of the story. And of course, this is going to be a trilogy, so that's going to play into the third film, of course. But I just didn't care for it. It was an extremely good film. The second 28 Weeks Later is my favorite of the 28 Later franchise. And this is a solid film. I cannot wait to see where the third film goes. Coming in at number 1 is Iron Lung. I can understand anybody that does not enjoy this movie. It makes perfect sense to me. I can see where people might not like it. I've never been a major Markiplier fan. Now, my girlfriend and some of my friends are huge Markiplier fans. My girlfriend absolutely loves the Cloak brand, so she's been getting Cloak. She has multiple items from Cloak. I've seen some of his stuff. He seems like a really good guy. It's just his content isn't something that I would regularly watch. But what I will say is an independent film made by a YouTuber. I'm going to pay attention. But what this movie is about is basically the entire universe is starting to fade out of existence somehow. Humanity has basically just seen stars and planets vanish throughout the entire galaxy, and the only people left alive are basically people on these space stations. But the main character has committed a major crime, has been convicted of basically murdering a bunch of people, and for his sentence, they are sticking him in a submarine, and they have found this moon that is made completely of human blood, and they're putting him in a submarine down onto this moon, into the blood, to see what he can find. And he takes, X-ray. While he's down there, he's taking X-ray photographs and finding crazy stuff. This is an extremely existential horror, very, very confined and suffocating. The way this film is shot, it's all from inside of this submarine. The main character that is played by Markiplier is you only see some other characters for a brief moment. The rest of the movie is just basically him, and voice actors on the radio. I fucking love this movie. This movie is right up my alley. It was a little slow at parts, but it felt intense the entire time. I'm extremely glad that this movie is doing as well as it is. Now, as far as this list is concerned, I don't believe that any of these any of these 12 movies are going to end up in my top 10 at the end of the year. I think that the best for the year is yet to come, especially with, Scream 7, Ready or Not 2, Evil Dead Burn. Like, these are movies that I'm very, very much looking forward to. But January did start us off very well. I'd say, like Iron Lung, 28 Years Later, Bone Temple, and Send Help are all like 8 out of 10s for me. And then everything else below that is, 7 out of 10, 6 out of 10, 5 out of 10 type stuff. Not really trying to get, just kind of so you have an idea of where I kind of stand on these films, these 12 films. But yeah, that was my ranking for every new released horror in January. I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, please leave a like and subscribe. If you didn't like it, that's okay too. Anyways, y'all have a good night, and I'll see you next time.